Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Lens of Truth with me, I'm Florentino, and for today's video, here is my in-depth analysis for the new Mario Kart game that was teased for the Switch 2 reveal trailer. But before we get started, consider hitting the like button, ringing that bell, and leaving a comment. So, let's get to it. And we are starting right away with the amount of characters on screen, the amount of racers, which looks like it's going to be jumping from the standard 12 to 24. And that is a lot of racers on one track. It is now wide enough to compensate for all of those players racing at once. So let's take a quick look back at the first game in the series with Super Mario Kart that also included 4 controlled human players at once as well. And if we move on to the Nintendo 64 with Mario Kart 64, it's the same thing with 8 total players on a track, including 4 human players. And all of that was the same with Mario Kart Super Circuit on the GBA. It got a little interesting with Mario Kart Double Dash where it was still 8 total karts, bumping up the character count to 16, but it was still 8 racers per track. Following with Mario Kart DS, it went back to the standard 8 racers with 8 human controlled players that can be done online for the first time ever. And there was even LAN support for Mario Kart Double Dash. And Mario Kart 7, same thing with 8 total players. But when it came to Mario Kart Wii and now Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, this is where everything got bumped up to 12 total racers. And this is where the tracks also compensated for that, where they became a lot bigger and a lot more dynamic when it came to all the things that you can do with interaction with those tracks. So this is going to be very interesting how Nintendo's going to handle 24 racers at once, and if those stages are going to be big enough and roomy enough to compensate for all of that. And let's not even get started with the amount of item balancing that's going to be needed for that. Now let's quickly go through all of the characters. The first one we do see is Rosalina and her sled looking cart, followed up by Yoshi that you can see as well. And we're going to get into the art style in just a little bit, but we see Rosalina, Yoshi, and we also see Mario leading the pack, and right behind you see his brother Luigi. But it also reminds me of the Super Mario Kart artwork from the game. It's very charming and it's going back to those roots as well. And I wanted to zoom in on Toad, which he's riding this huge, almost like dune buggy looking cart with big wheels, almost with this 4-wheeler. And you can see this highly rendered Super Smash Bros. Melee trophy as well, making it for a great old school callback. And we can also see both Bowser and Donkey Kong with their brand new looks as well. I know this went by very quickly, but I'm going to read off all of the racers that we've seen. So we saw Bowser, Donkey Kong, Mario, Toad, Daisy, Yoshi, Peach, Luigi, Rosalina, Wario, Koopa, Waluigi, Baby Mario, and Pauline. And more importantly, like I mentioned in the beginning, the artwork is from Yoichi Kotabe. So he was a Japanese animation artist and former employee of Nintendo. He was the primary artist for the Super Mario series, and this is what I wanted to talk about, where this entire game for this new Mario Kart that they're going to be releasing for the Switch 2 is going back to the old school ways of the chubbier, a lot more adorable and cuter looking characters like Mario and Bowser. They're completely revamping the look of everything. So it is basically a 3D render of the promotional artwork or all of the covers that you have seen for like Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, and Super Mario Bros. 3, which is really cool that they're doing that. And we finally saw this evolution in the graphical art style for Super Mario Bros. Wonder when it came out for the Switch. It was a great callback to the art style of Super Mario World, and also because we were getting tired of the new Super Mario Bros. Bland style of the series when we kept getting the same one over and over again, starting from the DS and all the way up to the Wii U version. So this was a great surprise. And I also thought that it was a callback to the Nintendo Power magazine when it was made out of clay, and also the last issue that they ever had as well, where it was just a more charming art style with Mario being a little bit more pudgy, and it just fits the art style so well. And the last one that I wanted to focus on, which is the most important, is Donkey Kong's brand new render. So if you guys haven't already seen, they are completely going all the way back to his original roots, but also a blend of what they did with the Super Mario movie, where Donkey Kong was also completely remade. So it is now more of a blend of what Rare Studios did, of what Nintendo's older Donkey Kong looked like in Super Mario Kart. And as you can see, all these examples from the trophies from Super Smash Brothers, and I kind of zoomed in onto him even though he's a little bit blurry. It's really cool that they're just going to revamp him, and I feel like this is very important because Donkey Kong will be making a huge comeback in 2025. And just to talk about the stage in general, it does look like something from the Cars series from Disney with its Arizona or like desert-like setting. We do see Yoshi's Cafe on the right side, which is something that they have always done, like the game Yoshi's Cookie as well. So it does fork into 3 different sections, and which is pretty interesting to see that this might be one of those huge type of stages that can be dynamic depending on the way that you take each race and every lap. So that's going to be pretty cool. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of Mario Kart, the new Mario Kart that's coming out, and what are your predictions for the characters, stages, and any new gimmicks. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.